Space, a frontier. These are the voyages of the channel smAsho, our continuing mission to bring out interesting stories, to talk about cosmology, and to boldly go where no YouTube channel has the cojones to go. Just kidding, folks. Lots of YouTube channels go to ridiculous places. We are streaming live to Twitch. It's twitch.tv/smAsho, a great live streaming platform. Thanks to our new subscribers over on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please make sure you take a moment to press like and subscribe. Press the share button. Share with your friends and foes. Let them know we exist. And congratulations on finding us. We're also on BitChute. More exclusive content to come soon there. And by the way, we are also doing a live stream this afternoon. Make sure you check us out for that. Our Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time live streams. It's now a thing. It's a weekly fixture. Also, check out our Discord channel. You can find links to that on our homepage at smAshomash.com. If you head to smAshomash.com, you'll find our links to our social media. There's an invite to the Discord channel there, as well as links to our merch shops. Today's featured product is available at the smAsho merch shop. If you click smAsho merch, it'll redirect you to our Redbubble page. Also follow us on Twitter. And here's our Redbubble page. The sale ends today, so we've reduced our own profits to pass them on to our viewers and our other donors and supporters. So again, if you head to smAshomash.com and click smAsho merch, you'll find our Redbubble shop, and sometime by tomorrow, the sale will be over. So we've reduced our own profits to pass that savings on to you. Today's featured product is the Vaccinate This Classic t-shirt. And here it is. I'm actually wearing it now. And what it says is, HIPAA. My vaccination status is none of your business, which it shouldn't be controversial at all, but apparently it is now. People think I'm mean. People think I'm mean because I've said my vaccination status is none of your business. The Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of 1996 didn't evaporate as a result of an emergency. Next, I'd like to thank our patrons. Thanks, patrons. Patrons get all kinds of early alerts that nobody else gets to see, as well as all kinds of links to other stuff that we've been up to behind the scenes. Patreon.com/smAshomash if you'd like all the earliest alerts and so on, all kinds of other perks, including multimedia. Patreon.com/smAshomash. Thanks again, patrons, for creating some sort of reliable source of income for the channel to increase the probability these videos will continue to exist and remain publicly visible. All right. Now that we've got all those advertisements out of the way, let's get to cosmology. Now, we covered this the day the story came out. Could be the largest comet ever studied in depth. Certainly the largest Oort cloud object ever detected. And I'm not going to get into the controversies about the Oort cloud or anything like that, at least not in this video. And before I continue on, let me just check the life of the stream here. And it looks just fine. So we're going to let the article scroll here. If you want to read it, feel free to pause the video. It's the beauty of video on demand. And this was discovered by the Dark Energy Survey, a very sensitive piece of equipment. This comet is traveling perpendicular to the solar system's plane. So in other words, it's perpendicular to the orbit of all the planets. It's only going to get to about 11 astronomical units, an astronomical unit being the distance from the Earth to the Sun, 93 million miles. So it's going to get about the distance of Saturn to the Sun, which means it's not expected to be visible with the naked eye. It's currently at a magnitude 20, which is very, very dim. And let's talk about a random object. Actually, there's nothing random about it at all. Cygnus X-3. So Cygnus X-3 is an interesting object, and we've actually featured a lengthy forum thread about it at smAshomash.com/forum. There is a cosmology thread completely dedicated to this particular system. Cygnus X-3 is the little friend which orbits a massive Wolf-Rayet star, which is like 1,700 times the diameter of the Sun. It's about the size of Mars's orbit. And this object is orbiting that Wolf-Rayet star at relativistic speeds. There's a huge disk of ionized plasma in between the two objects. And one of the jets from the X-3 object is oriented directly at us. It is currently in an X-ray quiescent state. So if you look at it right here, the 30-day chart. Come on, Epic Pen, you can do it. If you look at the 30-day chart down here, you can see it's right on the 0 line, which is the ultra-quiescent state, and we're urging radio astronomers to get a look at this as it goes from X-ray quiescent to an X-ray loud state. It'll give us all kinds of insight into the nature of the massive plasma filament jet that is in between us and this object, which, by the way, has a very highly disputed distance, and it's one of the only known cosmic ray point sources. Cygnus X-3, we talk about it regularly on the channel. Let's get to NASA's astronomy picture of the day. You can look at it yourself at apod.nasa.gov, apod.nasa.gov. And what this is a Sphinx simulation of the formation of, well, a galaxy, really. And I'll just let this play. And, you know, we've recently talked on the cosmology segments a little bit in depth here about how polarization seems to be the initial factor that allows matter to coalesce and become perhaps gravitationally relevant. But in any case, this is a 100 million year after the Big Bang sort of simulation here, showing really an artist's rendition, an artist in the form of a computer programmer's rendition of what may happen as stars form and galaxies form and so on. apod.nasa.gov if you want to check that out yourself. It's some beautiful imagery. It's not based on any observations. I mean, it's based on observations, obviously. They're attempting to get the physics right here. But this is just a simulation. And perhaps an irregularly shaped galaxy forming there. You can see some jets coming out of some of those objects, some polar jets, such as up here. And let's continue on to talk about J2108 plus 5157, an ultra-high energy gamma ray source. So ultra-high energy gamma ray sources are important in that they are most likely formed by jets from things like stars or galaxies striking a dense cloud of gas and or dust. Now, everything in space is plasma, folks. Just about everything in space is plasma, because most things in space are subjected to ionizing radiation. So at least the part on the outside of stars is clearly made of plasma. And of course, those of us who believe stars are made of condensed matter, the liquid metallic hydrogen theory of what stars are made of, liquid metallic hydrogen is technically what we call a single segment plasma, because the nucleons would be constrained into a lattice structure while the electrons are free to flow around. But in any case, interesting story here about the ultra-high energy gamma ray source. And what we're talking about here is not energies between 100 giga electron volts and 100 tera electron volts. We're talking about photon energies above 0.1 peta electron volts. And we talked about petatrons previously. Check out our other cosmology segments at youtube.com/smashamash/playlists. We're pushing 200 cosmology segments. Also, a new type of supernova discovered, which illuminates a medieval mystery. And of course, in the year 1054, the Crab pulsar created the Crab Nebula. And it was, shall we say, interesting to those on Earth. And I'm just going to let this article scroll as well here. If you weren't aware of this, it's pretty important. Electron capture supernovae. Ken Namoto says, I'm very pleased that the electron capture supernova was finally discovered, which my colleagues and I predicted to exist and have a connection to the Crab Nebula 40 years ago. I very much appreciate the great efforts involved in obtaining these observations. This is a wonderful case of the combination of observations and theory. So I think we covered this yesterday, actually, on a different website. That article from June 28th, a new type of supernova, an electron capture supernova. And that's today's Cosmology segment. Thanks for tuning in. I've been your host, Dan, a.k.a. smAsho, signing off from the Smash News Network. Least busted, naming news.